Hi, welcome to Introduction of English Grammar class. Today we are going to review the 12 English tenses. If you see from the pictures, there are three big tenses: past, present, and future. It's important to know tenses because we can write and speak properly. To make it easy, we will look at the example. I write an article every night. We can use present tense. How if we use past tense? We can see from the example, I wrote an article yesterday. And if we want to tell the future event or activity, we can use future tense. And we can say, I will write an article tomorrow. If we see the verb, the subject I, the verb write in present tense, and then the subject I, and then the verb wrote in past tense, and the subject I, and then the verb write and with be will. So I will write. So it is simple future. The verb changes in present tense, past tense, and future tense. In this video, we are going to discuss present and past tenses. You can see the future tenses for the next video. In present tenses are divided into simple present tense, present progressive or continuous, present perfect, present perfect progressive, and past tense are divided into simple past tense, past progressive or continuous, past perfect, past perfect progressive. Future tenses are divided into simple future tense, future progressive, future perfect progressive. Now, simple present. You can use simple present if you want to tell about the fact or general truth. I will write the example of the fact or general truth. The example, the sun rises in the east. It is a fact or general truth. You also can describe or tell the habit using simple present. The adverb of time that you can use for simple present: every day, every week, every month, every year, and so on. In simple present tense, there are two types. The first is be, and the second type, verb. Be in simple present is, am, and are. If the subject she, he, and it, we can use is. If the subject I, we can use am. And if the subject you, they, and we can use are. Look at the example. John is a student. The subject John and the verb is. The other example, they are students. The subject they and then the verb are. For negative, we just put not. They are not sad. Next, we go to the second type, verb. If the subject she, he, and it, we can add as or es or ies for the verb. Now look at the example. He wakes up every morning. Because the subject he, for the verb, we can put as. The other example, she eats a burger every day. The verb eats. You can see there is as here. For certain verbs, if the ending o, ch, sh, s, or x, we add es. For example, he goes to school every day. Because go, the ending o, we put es. And then he watches TV every night. Because the ending ch, we put es. Now look at this example. Jane wash, because the ending sh, we put es. Jane washes the dishes. And then if the verb pass, the ending s, we put es. Pete passes Puri in the mall. And then if the verb, the ending x, we also put es. For example, she mixes the cake. For certain verb, if the ending y and preceded by the consonant letter, we must change y into ies. For example, he tries hard every week. Look, the ending y before y r and r is consonant. So we must change y into ies. The other example, a baby cries every night. How about this example? James play. Look, the subject James. So the verb we need to put as, es, or ies. Because the ending y and before y is a, it's vowel, you just add s. James plays volleyball. And then for the negative, you just put does and not. For example, he doesn't wake up. So not wakes, but wake because it's already does. And then for the negative, you can say, does he wake up every morning? Apakah dia bangun setiap pagi? If yes, you can say, yes, he does. If no, no, he doesn't. Next, if the subject are you, they, and we don't need to put as, es, or ies for the verb. So you just say, I wake up every morning. For the negative, you just put do and not. For example, we do not drink juice every day. For interrogative, you can say, do they speak Japanese every day? If yes, you can say, yes, they do. If no, you can say, no, they don't. Present progressive or continuous. If you want to describe the activity or event that progress right now, you can use present progressive, the adverb of time, right now, or now. We look at the example. John is going to school now. And they are walking around together now. If we can see from the example, present progressive, use be, is, am, are, and then verb in. Look at this one. Be is going. Be are walking. Next, present perfect. You can use present perfect if you want to tell the activity or the event that happens at the unspecified time. For example, you learn English from kindergarten. Now you are still learning English and you don't know when you will finish learning English. So you can say present perfect. The adverb of time you can use since and for. Now look at the example. She has called her since 7 o'clock. They have drunk juice for 30 minutes. You can use has if the subject she, he, and it. You use have if the subject I, you, they, and we. If you look at the verb called, drunk, so it used past participle form or verb 3. We can look at this one, drink, drank, and drunk. This is verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. You can say verb 3 as the past participle. For the positive sentence, for example, you can say I have woken up. Because the subject I, so you use have. I have woken up. For negative, you just put not. For example, she has not woken up. Because the subject she, so we can use has. The interrogative, you can say, have you eaten this morning? Apakah kamu sudah makan pagi ini? So you can say, yes, I have. If no, you can say, no, I haven't. Or no, I have not. Present perfect progressive. It is similar to present perfect, but the difference in present perfect progressive, there is a duration. The adverb of time is similar to the present perfect since and for. Look at the example. She has been biking since 8 o'clock. They have been singing for 2 hours. If you look at this one, has been and biking, have been singing. So in present perfect progressive, you can use has, have, been, and verb in. Remember, because progressive or continuous, you must use verb in. This is for the example. She has been biking since 8 o'clock. For negative, you just put not. They haven't been singing for 2 hours. The interrogative, have you been waiting me? If yes, you can say yes, I have. If no, no, I have not, or no, I haven't. Next is simple past. You can use simple past if you want to tell about the activity or event that began and ended in the past. The adverb of time, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 1 minute ago, and so on. In simple past, we have two forms, be and verb. Be in simple past, we have was and were. You can use was if the subject, she, he, it, and I. You can use were if the subject, you, they, and we. Look at the example. John was a student. They were happy. The subject, John, the verb was. The subject, they, and the verb were. The second type, verb. If the subject, she, he, it, I, you, they, we, you can directly use simple past form or verb to. In simple past, there are two kinds of verb. Regular form, you just put d, ed, or ied. For example, love, loved, watch, watched, try, tried. And irregular form, like go, went. Now look at the example. I woke up late yesterday. The subject I, the verb woke up, it's simple past form or verb to. For negative, you just put did and not. We did not drink juice last night. Look, it's not drank, it's drink because it's already have did. So we can say we did not drink or didn't. The interrogative sentence, did they speak Japanese last meeting? If yes, you can say yes, they did. If no, no, they did not, or no, they didn't. Look, this is the other example of regular verb like hope, hoped, hoped. Sorry, actually, this is not a present participle, but it's past participle. Past participle. This is the irregular verb. It's also the past participle. Become, became, become. This is verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. Now past progressive. The difference from the simple past in past progressive, it is the activity in progress in past time. That of time is similar to simple past. Now look at the example. John was going to school yesterday. They were walking around together last night. If we see from the example, the subject John, and then we use be, was, or were, and then verb ing is going and walking. Next, past perfect. You use past perfect if you want to tell the activity completed before another activity. So there are two activities. So the adverb of time that you can use before and after. Now look at the example. She had called me before Kasit came. They had drunk before I arrived there. If we see the subject she, and then be had, and then this is the past participle or verb 3 called. They, the subject, the be had, and then the verb drunk. If we see from this example, there are two activities. The first activity, she had called me, and the second is Kasit came. So for this case, we use past perfect. The positive sentence, Siska had slept before John came. And the negative, Siska hadn't slept before John came. And the interrogative, you can say, had Siska slept before John came? If yes, you can say yes, she had. If no, no, she hadn't or had not. And then past perfect progressive. It's similar to the past perfect, but because progressive, there is duration. Look at for the example. She had been calling me since 30 minutes ago before Kasit came. So we can see had, been, and verb ing. Now look at the other example. For the positive, Siska had been sleeping for 2 hours before John came. Had been and verb ing. The negative, you just put not. Siska hadn't been sleeping. The interrogative, had Siska been sleeping for 2 hours before John came? If yes, yes, she had. If no, no, she hadn't. Okay, for future tense, we will discuss for the next video. Thank you for listening. Bye.